And for the first time, we're hearing from the family and the wife of the man who was fatally shot by ICE officers in Maine. She spoke in Biddeford yesterday beside a woman who translated her Spanish into English. Listen.
My soul is broken. He was everything to me. He never let me worry about anything. I feel so unprotected. I wish I could run into his arms and hear him say, "It's okay, mi flaca, I'm right here."
The Associated Press is exclusively reporting that the ICE officer in Maine who killed her husband has a history of violent behavior. The media outlet cites interviews with several of his close relatives, as well as family court records. CBS News immigration correspondent Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins us now. So, Camilo, this is something that a lot of people were afraid of, that the people that are being recruited into ICE have histories like this one, like this gentleman allegedly has, that the training is not sufficient and that they are just, for lack of a better word, looking for an opportunity to pull their weapons and in some cases discharge them. So what else did this report say?
Well, look, according to that reporting by the AP, the ICE officer who shot 26-year-old Colombian immigrant Joan Sebastian Duran Guerrero had a long history of violent and abusive behavior, including against women. One of those women told the AP that he actually sent her a voicemail in which he suggested that her throat should be slit. That is how deeply concerning the information we have received is. The relatives of that ICE agent also told the outlet that he has had a long-standing history of mental health challenges dating back to his childhood. And they also, frankly, told the outlet that he should have never received a badge and a gun. And as Vlad noted, he was only hired late last year. That is critically important context because that is when the Trump administration began this aggressive and massive hiring blitz to hire tens of thousands of new ICE agents, up to 10,000 ICE agents, and they condensed the training curriculum in that process. That was a concern at the time, that many people would fall through the cracks and that ICE would onboard people who would otherwise not qualify to be a federal law enforcement agent.
I just have a quick question before we move on to talking about the political aspect of this, Camilo, is with this administration, when these things happen, very rarely do we ever hear about the officer in question. This administration has become very, very good at keeping these people under wraps. In other words, the fact that this reporting was done, and I know you're a tenacious reporter, you're going to continue to dig into this, how well or how much are we going to be tracking what happens to that ICE agent? Because information like this is incredibly troubling. And if there's a pattern, in other words, people that are being hired into ICE who have histories like this person does, that should be investigated.
It's a critical point because the administration is currently accusing us and the rest of the media of doxing this ICE agent by revealing his name and his history. They believe that that is dangerous for the agents' families and also the agents themselves. We should also know that I just came back from Houston, where another man, a Mexican immigrant, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, was shot and killed again by an ICE agent last week. Even the district attorney there, Sean Tier of the Harris County District Attorney's Office, told me he has not received the name of the ICE agent who fatally shot Salgado Araujo. So even the local prosecutor does not know the identity of that ICE agent.
And before we get to the political part, what is the background check process supposed to be for ICE agents? Because this person did have, a history of issues.
They're supposed to receive the same background screenings that every other law enforcement position receives. But last year, to really bolster that hiring blitz, the administration condensed the training academy process in Georgia that ICE agents undergo. Now, after Minneapolis and the killings of Alex Preddy and Renee Good, two American citizens, ICE had to backtrack on that and had to return the training procedures back to their original time frame. But this agent was hired under that condensed training process.
Even before you get to the training, it seems like the background check needs to be more thorough. Camilo, thank you so much.